as the multiverse aligns. New mutated enhanced being of my kind. I rhyme to an iron heartbeat of Eddie Kane, the conqueror with the thought of Xavier's peace of mind. Look, match crafting a well written in Hell's Kitchen, being blind. Dare to see your Sky Summers eye to eye. Miles ahead, web slinging a line in this age of Voltron. You ain't even inclined. The real McCoy, your beast with mine. I'm from Sakar, barely age. I've increased the time. Fantastic as a force field formed by Sue. It's the arrival of Marvel of the Minds. It's been due. Go.
First and foremost, what up, those? Marvel of the Minds. Nametag Alexander, peace of mind. What's really going on with you, good sir?
Just ready to get this going and then move on from it.
Get on and over with, right? And that's how I felt in the last two episodes. So, man, the reason we're here for y'all that's tuned in, whether it's video or audio, we are talking about Marvel Animation presents What If Season 3, the final installment of the series. Let's just get right into it, man. And you know how we do. Infinity Stone rating for the season, this particular season. What do you give it as far as the Infinity Stones? How do you rate it?
I'll give it a 3. Overall, there was some cool ones, but a lot of them were just kind of mid. You know, like, all right, that's cool, but nothing that was like, you know.
Yeah, dog. I'll give it a 4. I'll be fair and give it a 4 because out of 8 episodes, I feel like I did. I mean, honestly, I did enjoy 4 of them. So that's where my 4 comes from. So yeah, 4, I think is fair, man. But just overall, I felt like so just to get right into it, it says Brad Winterbaum. He was Marvel's head of streaming. I'm reading this off these notes that I jacked off of Entertainment Weekly and some off Wikipedia, but basically, Brad Winterbaum, he's the head of Marvel streaming, television and animation. He explained that the series end was timed to coincide with the broader narrative developments within the MCU, suggesting that the conclusion was appropriate from a storytelling perspective. What do you think about that?
Going off that makes me, really lean into what I was talking about with you in chat.
Kang?
Kang, that I think there was some episodes removed because I feel like with Kang involved in the way this ended, it would have went perfectly into what,
should I jump ahead? Episode 7, bro. Like episode 7 was a clear indication that Kang was supposed to be some part of that episode where Captain Carter pulled up in like you said, the multiversal time travel machine.
Yeah.
So if that's what it was called. It was something that where he traveled in and we saw it.
It was the time sphere.
Yeah, he was working on it in Ant-Man 3, and also they hinted to it a lot in Low Key season 2. So yeah, man, it was just overall the season. Like to me now, for whatever reason, it's kind of difficult for me to compare it to season 2. Like season 1 was just, I don't want to say season 1 is like goated or anything or jump off the ledge with but season 1 was the better one overall. Just the storylines. We had if Killmonger, you know what I'm saying, was what if he met Iron Man or something like that? Whatever that episode was, that storyline was dope, and it all connected to Infinity Ultron. So series creators,
and that's the thing though, like they before that Ultron, they had an episode explaining how the Guardians of the Multiverse came together and came to be.
Yeah.
When we got to that episode 7 and it was everybody there. For one, Birdie, I had no idea who that was when that episode was going. I was like, who the fuck is this bird lady?
Birdie,
like,
for those of y'all, if you either tuned into the show, you may have missed some things, or if you're listening, like who is Birdie? Because we were wondering the same thing when we saw it in episode 7. Birdie came from episode 4, except it ended with Birdie being a baby. So Birdie came in episode 4, which was called What If Howard the Duck Got Hitched? And in this episode, they kind of build off of what we saw in season 1, where if Thor was like Party Thor. And in this episode, Darcy meets Howard the Duck. Apparently he gets hitched, right? They get married, they go off, and somehow they have a baby that's not a duck. So Birdie somehow, it was wild. Like Birdie was born, she was hatched from an egg, whatever, but she was human. and had like, I guess, what power did she have? Powers or anything? Or was she just like super smart?
Yeah, she had powers. She could like blast lasers and shit,
Yeah.
and sprout wings, and
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. It just was like in that episode where that aired on Christmas. This is another thing I think where they messed up with season 2 and 3 is dropping them daily. I don't think that was a great idea. I didn't look up how it impacted viewership. I'm pretty sure people that missed these episodes because nobody really had time. Like we may have had, even we kind of didn't have time.
No,
I watched it later.
I didn't have time. Last
Like
year I did. Like
it
it
was a
was
little
cool.
different.
Last year
Yeah,
but it was just what was going on with life.
yeah,
This year I didn't get to watch any of them until like 4 or 5 of them were already out, just because we were so swamped with like family
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, same. It's just like even with the episodes like where I may have been able to catch them that morning, it was like I catch it later in the afternoon or later in the evening when everything is
Yeah.
kind of quieted down. My daughter's put to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like okay, I watch it then. It wasn't. I just didn't think that was a great idea with them doing that. I guess they were just leading it like,
Yeah.
yo, we're just gonna drop episode after episode, but it just wasn't that bright to me.
Yeah. And then
Just, ju- oh,
on the back of Birdie, we had Storm in there. Like, yo,
where,
we need
where did?
explanations for
Yeah,
all this. Like, they took out an episode. Guarantee you, it was a Kang
had
episode,
to
because
have.
that's how Peggy rolled up in the time sphere. That's how Birdie or somebody said that they stole the timeline resets from the TVA.
Yeah, from the
Like there
TVA.
was
Yeah.
Kang episodes that
Yeah,
they
dog.
removed.
It
for
didn't
sure.
make like I know in the trailer when we saw like the clips like yo they showing if Storm was Thor like if she had Thor's hammer, and I know from what I understand in the comics she because I did a little bit of research on that, there are some uh comics where she has a hammer, not necessarily Milner, but she has a like a version of it or something like that, which is dope. But just seeing her, it was like okay, that's dope, but where did you come from? It's not just this is what if, but at the same time, like, what is your connection to the MCU? You know what I mean? We know you from X-Men 90s. I mean, obviously the previous X-Men series and the movies and everything, but that wasn't technically the MCU during that time. And I get it. Disney purchased the rights and everything. This is what's gonna blow your mind. So with it might have been, I believe it was Wolverine and also Jean as the Phoenix. The Phoenix was supposed to be in this episode 7 and 8, a part of the Exiles crew. Here's why. So this is why they use Birdie and why her powers were kind of similar, if you notice. Because I was wondering
that sort of Phoenix move that she did too.
Yeah.
Like I was
I'm
like,
like,
wait,
what
are
is
they
that
about to do Phoenix with it? Like,
so that's what I'm thinking, right? But come to find out that I heard this through man, I forget my man's name, but it's a channel called The Real Rejects, and they kind of got like some inside sources, but they basically was, and I could be wrong if it's that channel, might have been that channel or Emergency Awesome. One of those two channels basically disclosed that it was some confusion on around that time if they had the rights to these X-Men characters. That whole time while they had the rights to use Wolverine, they didn't know for sure. So they didn't use Wolverine. Same thing with the Phoenix. So we could have got more X-Men characters, but because of the rights issue and it not being certain, I guess during the time of them shooting, the deal maybe hadn't finalized, but maybe they had Storm. It's confusing, man. That's why I say like sometimes the business and the whole licensing and who got the rights to who, it ruins it sometimes. And when you find those things out, I'd rather know it because I don't want to watch and be confused, like what is going on. But then when you do know, you're like, yeah, this is kind of stupid. Like how we keep pointing out, clearly there was an episode or something else. Because normally, isn't it 9 episodes normally?
You know,
like
it
the
might
first season
be.
was 9. Season 2, I feel like was 9. But they definitely was like, we about to yank an episode, which probably was Kang Center. And they was like, oh, we just got to pull it. Just all because of the whole Jonathan Major situation, which is kind of wild. So we got the episode titles and description. So I'm gonna name them off. We can rank them however briefly. We ain't got to think too much into it because, like I said, this season was for me underwhelming. Episode 1, what if the Hulk fought the Mech Avengers? We got episode 2, Agatha went to Hollywood. What if Agatha went to Hollywood? What if episode 3, the Red Guardian stopped the Winter Soldier? Episode 4, what if we talked about that? What if Howard the Duck got hitched? Episode 5, what if the emergence destroyed the Earth? Episode 6, what if 1872? Episode 7, What If the Watcher Disappeared in episode 8. What if? So if you want to rank them, if we're gonna rank them all 8, what order you got them in?
The first episode, the Hulk, I gave it 3. It was cool. Nothing.
No. I'm saying in that order, like in just a ranking order. Like if you like episode 8 the best, that's number 1.
Oh, okay.
2,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So episode 8, number 1, I gave that 6 stones just because that felt like some Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I love that.
You don't got to rank them with the stones. That's why we did that with the season overall. So I'm just saying, like,
I was giving them all stones.
Yeah, what order
bad.
do you got them ranked in?
So then we got What If the Watcher Disappeared, 7th episode.
That's what you got. That's what you got at the top at number 1.
Yeah, number 1, and then number 2, and then I ranked them with stones, so I messed it up.
Yeah.
And then we got the Emergence, the Riri episode.
Okay.
Got that next. And then we got the Red Guardian.
That's 3.
That was a good one. Yeah,
Okay.
That was solid. That was 4. Number 4.
You got 4 named.
Yeah. And then the Hulk Avengers Max. And then
I know what you got last.
Shang-Chi, and then last is Agatha Went to Hollywood. And I would like to say, I thought we were going off stones. I gave that 2 stones. I almost gave it no stones. Okay.
What didn't you like about it?
Singing and dancing shit, dude. Like, yo, there was one dance sequence. Do you remember that? I think it was Shaq, and I think they did it with Thanos, where it was like this meme gif of like Shaq dancing.
Oh yeah,
and like Thanos dancing.
Yeah.
That's what that fucking shit looked like to me. Like I was like, this is fucking stupid. Get this out of here. But
I'm not a fan of the
story. The core of the story and what she was doing,
fire.
That was I thought
that was super
dope. That ridiculously. I was like, oh fuck yeah, and then they like started like singing and dancing
because it's like you think like, okay, she take witches powers or whatever. Why not? She find out it's the emergence almost happens. There's a celestial buried in the ground or whatever, or in the core of the earth, however that works with the celestial. And she like, oh, I'm about to try to take this power. I like that would have been dope if they introduced that to live action. But I think they just like that. We give Agatha a lot of shit, right? But for me, I think they slighting her character. I think they rushed and did it on some like, yo, she was in WandaVision. People like the song. Let's give her a show. And it's like you give us a show, and to me, like I still think it was like I didn't understand like the glorifying behind this show, and it was like, nah, man, this ain't really it. But like with a storyline like that, I was like, yo, that's dope. Yeah. But they gonna try to force Agatha down our throats, like pause. But they're like, Agatha. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't have any problem with them forcing Agatha down like on us if they cut all that extra shit out.
Yeah, because she could be a very dope character. Like for her to be considered what technically, according to the comics, like super like C-list, maybe D-list. Y'all can do a lot with her, but they chose not to. It's like, man. Even with so I guess I'll go and. Yeah, so in my order, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna rock with 5. What if the emergence destroyed the Earth with Riri?
That's your number 1.
I'm gonna go with that as 1.
Okay.
Because that's the one with Vision that was in it, right? With White Vision, she had the scrap with him.
Yeah.
And it had Mysterio in there because I thought that was a dope storyline. I was like, damn, like, with Mysterio, and he uses the fake imagery, but it was like he made it to where it could be real. Like it ain't real, but we're gonna make it seem like this stuff gonna touch you. It's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? So I thought that was dope.
Yeah.
At first I was confused of like why he was looking like that, but I was like, oh, it's the same situation with like if Tony Stark with the the arc reactor in his chest, or whatever, how that was affecting him. I want to say it was Iron Man 2, and he had like the veins. I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense now. But I thought that episode was pretty dope. Like, just I feel like this, and I feel like I heard this too as well in one of the reviews, that because it wasn't a lot of reviews. A lot of people wasn't rushing to like review these episodes because, again, the stupid releasing them back to back, throughout the week. But what I did hear was that Ironheart was supposed to remember, they pushed a lot of shit back. Ironheart was supposed to come out before this as well. So what we're seeing is like, by now you're supposed to be familiar, as opposed, remember we said it off mic, like, oh, Riri story arc in Black Panther 2 was like more so she was a side character in a sense, right? So we didn't really get like enough of Riri where we would have got more of her, obviously, in her own solo show. So by the time we see her again, we're like, oh, she's a character, but still not like the lead in the sense. I don't know, more. I guess Mysterio to me was more so the lead for this. But but I thought that episode was dope. I had that at number 1 just because I thought the storyline was fire in itself. And at 8, I'm sorry, at number 2, I would have to put What If, the final episode, because at first I was like, come on, man, what are y'all doing? But then when they start scrapping with the Watchers, I was like, oh, this is pretty dope. And then they start showing like, what was it when we told them I didn't teach you everything, and then they started like just really destroying everything. And dog, we start seeing these different characters. I'm gonna name the characters in here. So we had a 6-armed Spider-Man, Samurai Ghost Rider. We saw Riri, because I saw, oh, is that the Punisher? But then I had to go back and look it up, and it was like, no, it was What If Riri Williams was the Punisher. I was like, damn, that's dope. Gamora was in a wedding dress. I didn't understand the connection with that. Blade as Moon Knight. I missed that one, but I had to go back. I was like, damn. Weapon X Thanos is crazy. Yeah, that's fire. Because it was so many. I'm thinking at first, I'm like, oh, they just showing like regular Avengers and people from the comics and stuff. No, these were like What If mashups or whatever, right? They had Kingo, which how we saw in the Agatha episode with an Iron Man suit. I could see that working for some reason. So I was like, that's kind of dope. Yeah. Miss Marvel, if she was the Wasp. The Hawk's Maestro as Sorcerer Supreme. You had What If Howard the Duck was the Scarlet Witch. Hawkeye is a dragon warrior. I thought that looked kind of weird. I'm like, why he look like a dinosaur? I thought that was kind of strange. It was Hawkeye if he was a dragon warrior. Jubilee as the Silver Surfer. Right? And I'm pissed at the same time why they did this, because I think I know why they did it. A Skrull Captain America, and he has the shield from Maine and Wakanda. Cersei, this one that's sweet. They just show basically that scene from Eternals with Cersei and Dane, women dancing. You had Deadpool. He just had a lot of guns, so it was like Deadpool in a sense. Hela, but she was younger, and they showed her with the hammer, because remember she had the hammer originally. Shang-Chi, if he was Star-Lord. I always think it's dope when they had somebody else be Star-Lord, because it was fire when they had T'Challa do it. Loki as a sheriff, I didn't realize. That was kind of obvious. I was like, that don't look sweet. The Infinity Witch from, actually, I guess this comes from a comic, What If, an immersive story. So the Infinity Witch, and they had Nova, but it was Carol Danvers as a Nova Centurion and a Doctor Strange variant. But that was really it. But it was a lot of, and I think it's whack that it's dope how it looked, but they did this, I feel like, because they were, remember, I may have said it off mic, and I said that a lot of episode concepts was pitched to them, but got turned down by Kevin Feige. Because he's like, we don't want to step on what movies that are already in production or TV shows that are already set to come out and ruin those characters. Like, y'all don't have no history with these characters on film, so we not about to put them in What If, and you wonder, like, who is this? Who is Ghost Rider? You know what I'm saying?
That Deadpool one with all the guns, like, I swear, like, when I first saw that one, I thought that was Deadpool as Deathlock. You know, Deathlock.
I heard that name. I don't know. I probably won't know by face. I heard the name. Yeah, man. That was So I was looking like, I bet these were episodes that they pitched, because I'm pretty sure they didn't use Spider-Man probably because of the Sony shit. You know, so it's probably so much they could have did, man. They just
but
chose
I'm pretty
not
sure
to.
they have rights to animation. Like I would think that they wouldn't need to worry about it. Like,
and I see that
but like I was telling you in the chat, like it really reminded me of the Infinity War comics. Like I think it was the 2018 or 2019 Infinity War comics. They had the shit went crazy and there was like warping of reality and like Ghost Rider meshed with Black Panther and Spider-Man merged with Moon Knight, like Arachnite. Like that shit was so sweet. This really reminded me of that and got me excited and then sad because we will probably not see any.
Never ever see it. Right. And shout out to Red, man. He jumped in the comments. He said, "This is wild," and that he said Agatha episode was the best one.
I mean, it had a dope
concept. Was dope.
The meat of it was like.
I just don't like musicals. That's it. That's one of the main reasons that checked me out from the show. I was like, how they making this more musical than what it need to be early on. And shout out to Red. He has a podcast called Camera Speed, which is pretty dope. I haven't seen any new episodes drop as of recent, but the ones that I did check, I want to say they dropped like 4 or 5. The episodes are dope, man. It gave me a lot of insight on like just shooting film and just directing and production, just all that they have to do and how many hats they have to wear. But it's a very dope podcast. Again, Camera Speed. I'm sure y'all catch it on YouTube and all the podcast platforms. Where are we at? Oh, okay. I named all the Easter eggs, whatever. So I'll go ahead. I gave the Emergence one with Riri and Vision, White Vision in there. I gave that one. I gave my 2 I said number 8. I thought that was dope. The final episode I said was dope. And my number 3, I will give it to the Red Guardian, stopping the Winter Soldier episode. I'll give it to that. My number 4, I will have to give to. I'll give number 4 to episode 7. What if the Watcher disappeared? My number 5, I will give that to. So I'm scrolling as I'm looking. My number 5, I will give that to What If the Hawk Fought the Mech Avengers. And my number 6 would be What If 1872. And my number 7 will be the Howard the Duck episode. And number 8 would be Agatha. The one with Agatha. Yeah.
Not matters that you and I aren't too far off on most of them.
Yeah, once they start singing, and Agatha, I said, nope, last. All right, because I already had in my mind that we're going to rank the episode. Immediately when they started saying, I was like, why they got to stop attaching her to, like, the music? Like, just give her a dope arc, man. Like, that's how I felt about it. Yeah, man, I was more so underwhelmed with this one, man. Like, I even felt like the one with Howard the Duck could have been dope. And the concept was like, okay, I see where y'all going, but, like, what... Who is Birdie? Like, you know what I mean? They had the I thought it was just like that was it. And then as you know, they jumped ahead and this was like, oh, this the baby they made. She grown now. I was like, all right. Like they he sacrificed himself Infinity Ultron. I ain't gonna say they watched him, but he definitely sacrificed himself. Yeah, man, it was just it sucked knowing that they didn't use the X-Men. I was like, yo, y'all had prime opportunity to use like X-Men in here. It's clear that Kang was wiped out. They clearly pulled an episode. Oh, he said they're on holiday hiatus for the episodes. He got some new ones coming in 2025. Dope. Looking forward to seeing them, man, for sure. And we gotta have him on the pod too, and go specifically on him saying
we've been trying to get him. Yeah.
Hey, just by him saying Agatha, I want to know why. Because when people like was praising the show, like Agatha's show, I want to know, like, dang, I wonder why nobody could tell me why they liked it a lot, though. They just like, yo, that's
what I was just about to say. Like, I was creeping in the comments, and like nobody had any solid reasoning on why it was so good. They just were like,
I had every reason. So like, oh, it was cool. Like, I gave mad reasons, but then everybody that had like the reason why the show was great, I was like, like nobody had one. Man, it's a lot they could have dealt with this particular scene. Like I said, I feel like this was just rushed, like almost. I mean, I know they didn't rush it. Obviously, animation takes time, but this it looks a lot like y'all had a lot more that y'all probably was gonna give us, and because of certain things that occurred, y'all had to rework some things. Like maybe it could have Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, you know, y'all had to have known the movie was coming out. Why y'all don't got them in the thing? Y'all show us a variant of them. Like what? You know,
or Deadpool and Spider-Man. Like, yo, I need that team up, but maybe they're not touching that because that will happen. Who knows?
He got his show coming in January, so we'll be talking about that pretty soon. We actually got a lot ahead because we got Spider-Man, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I'm with you on that. I'm glad they changed the name. And I feel like if they would have just left it at freshman year, would have had to rely too much on, oh yeah, we get to see like how he got, you know, Tom Holland's character got bit by the spider. It's like, no, make this another universe. That's cool. And yeah, man. And then also, oh, I had that in my notes. That's what it was. I was drawing a blank. So it was also one where it was supposed to be like, it says something along the lines of the writer with the creators. It was previously mentioned that various episode concepts were considered, but ultimately not included. We talked about that with Feige, shot a lot of it down. Like, nope, we ain't using that. It's going to step on this. We can't use it. It said they had ideas that would have had the band Kiss in multiple episodes. I don't know.
That would have just been weird.
Like, why they got Kiss in here? A samurai themed episode that could have been dope. Dungeons and Dragons style episode, but they didn't make it to the final season. Like
maybe that samurai one was what's his name that they flashed at the end of the episode.
Oh, with Shang-Chi and Shang-Chi. Well, they talked about that a lot. They kept saying something about the ghost train or whatever. That was episode 5.
But no, I'm talking about like at the end of what if
episode 6, my fault.
At the end of episode 8 when they start showing all those.
Oh yeah. They showed the Ghost Rider. Like it was like
was it Ghost Rider Samurai?
No. Ghost Rider was a samurai. Yeah. So
yeah. Like that might have been a scrapped episode.
Man, Riri Williams as the Punisher, man, I would have loved to see that, dog.
I know, but hey, whatever.
Man. Now I wonder because they are going to show her like kind of be on the dark side for a bit, I guess, in the trailer and what I saw from the clip. So maybe I don't know. Maybe she could have been wilding out, and they would have been like, "Oh, that's too close to what we're gonna see in the show." I don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe. They did not. They had some. I feel like Iron Fist was supposed to be in here too. They had some nods to it all throughout episode 6. Like it was like it just even and then at the end too, because she said something about the character. What's her name?
Bishop.
Hey Bishop. Yeah, she said something like, "Oh, like he got Iron Fist or whatever." Or something like. I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right." So he was supposed to be in there. Well, he was technically in there. The little boy was supposed to be based on him. So, because they said, I guess they didn't really step on it because, again, the next Shang-Chi is going to be Shang-Chi and Iron Fist. I think they saw that it worked with Deadpool and Wolverine. And it was like, oh, let's bring another mashup in and title it. I mean, you always had Ant-Man and the Wasp, but hey, let's go with a.
They did that a lot in the comics, though. Like Marvel team-ups. You know, like it's perfect. Like I don't know why they haven't done that sooner.
Yeah, but I think that whenever that happened, that's gonna be crazy. Because I always like the fact that Iron Fist was based off of Bruce Lee. Like they loosely based it off of Bruce Lee for sure. So I would love to see like them. Don't give us my man's that was in the Netflix series, please don't. But give us another Iron Fist and let's make it work.
Legendary Protector Kunlun.
But yeah, but they are bringing back all the Defenders though, so I don't know. Maybe they're gonna keep them. So we'll see. Which should be dope. I wonder, are they gonna give them shows or are they putting them in movies? They didn't really say, but
I'd say they probably keep them in shows.
Yeah, because how could you revamp Luke Cage?
Yeah.
Just don't give him a corny villain. That's it. Just don't give him a corny. Yeah. He really never had the only corny villain he had was Diamondback. Carl. Like I did not like Diamondback, dog. He was terrible. Because other than that, it was good. He had Cottonmouth. I forget the lady's name that Alfred Woodard played, but her. And then even Bushmaster in season 2 was dope.
I didn't like
didn't?
Bushmaster, dude. No,
What?
I didn't like Bushmaster.
Bushmaster was dope.
I didn't like him.
Was it? Did they do him wrong? It was like compared to like what he was in the comics.
It just felt weird. Like it didn't feel. I don't know. I just there was something about him. I was like,
season 2 was pretty decent. It's just they started doing a lot of just like shit that kind of like it was jumping a shark, and it was like, hey man, y'all you ain't gonna do that. Like, so man. What if season 3? So we'll be back for, I guess the next, maybe we try to get a throwback review for the movies in between. Talk about that. Try to get some guests on. And then by then, maybe I'd say probably like 1 or 2 episodes in, because January basically right here. So matter of fact, by the time this episode drop, it's going to be a brand new year. So happy 2025. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, this would be the first episode dropping of the new year. Well, unless you're already watching the stream and it's out now. But yeah, man. So by the time it hit the audio, I should say it should be 2025. So probably get another episode in between, maybe 1 or 2. And then we'll be back for, by then it'd be Spider-Man time. Talking about, and I don't know how they doing that. I don't know if they, what are the episodes, hour or 30 minutes? It's an animation, so I'm assuming like 30 minutes tops.
Yeah, probably 25.
Yeah. And hopefully it's a week-to-week situation, and I know just here, binge it. Like, nah. Yeah. It was the week-to-week, man. But yeah, let them know where they can find you at, man.
Peace of Mind 313 across everything, always and forever.
Same. Nametag Alexander across the board. Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your music. On social media, I'm there, here and there. Instagram mainly, here and there on occasion, X, and in the Marvel of the Minds Facebook group. And also we got a Discord. I probably should put that link in the description. But until next time, it's been real. It's Marvel of the Minds. Peace.